Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Vijay and we are learning Python with our Python Mastery series. So in the past videos, we have seen how we can write any code and loop around it, okay, with the while and for loop. Then we saw the range function, nested looping, all of that concept we have covered. Now, let's say we want something through which we do not have to write the code, same portion of code that we are utilizing multiple times. Uh, a welcome message is an example, good example in our code cafe theme that we are using throughout this series. So let's say I have a welcome message that I've already written, a 4 5 line of message I've already written and stored it. So whenever I have to print anywhere, uh, at the time of bill generation, at the time of welcoming a customer, at the time of taking an order, before taking an order, everywhere the first line I'm printing that welcome to the code cafe. I do not want that, let's say. So what I will do, I will write that code, store it, and then we'll call that thing again and again. So this whole concept is called functions in Python. Function is nothing, write a piece of code, store it somewhere, and then call that function. So whenever you need it, you don't have to write that piece of code again and again. Okay, definitely we are going to see that practically, and how we can implement the functions on the VS Code that we will be seeing. And also we will be looking how we will define a function, how we will have the arguments passed to the function. It's not like that we wrote a code without any arguments. Let's say I want to do addition. So two numbers also I can provide to the function. The number can change, but the function will remain same. The core concept will remain same of the function of addition. So that all things we will be covering in this video. Okay, so let's jump to our blackboard. Okay, uh, let me jump to the blackboard, and we will have a functions. Okay, so we will see the structure of the function, what we do. So first thing is we need to define a function. Define means what is the name, are we going to pass anything to the function as a input value. Okay, function is basically, you can think of it as a black box. You pass something, it will give an output, and that logic we are storing somewhere so we can recall it. Okay, then we have something called as, after that, we once we define, we have something, we will store the instruction, that logic we will keep, store the instructions. Okay, after that we will make use of the function with call function. Okay, and then we will execute that. So this will be the steps that will be followed when we are implementing the function. Okay, we will define it, we will store the instruction, then we will call the function, and we will execute whatever the instructions are stored in the function. So that will be the main like syntax of the function that we will be using. And what is the advantage? Function is reusable. Let's say I defined the function, as I told, welcome function I defined once, I can use it multiple times, not need to write again and again. They like help us to avoid the duplication in our code. That will be helpful. And also the readability is improved. Let's say I defined a function for taking a payment via UPI. So that function is there, so it increases the readability of my code. And if anything goes wrong in the UPI section, or I have to make any changes in that, I have to make that, okay, the UPI customers will have this, or message should be displayed. So I have to make only change in that function, not everywhere in the code. Okay, so let's jump to VS Code and let us try to implement our function. So first we will start with our welcome message only. Okay, we will print welcome to code cafe. Okay, and this function is defined. And now we will, oops, sorry, not return. We will call the welcome. Return is an important concept in function, but we will come to it later once we complete the basics of the function. Okay. Okay. Here you can see if I call welcome, this is the definition of defined function. Here we have defined, and here we are calling the function. Okay. So this is how we can define this piece of code, and as many as time, if I call it here also again, I do not have to again and again write this piece of code. I can call as many times, write once and use multiple times. That is the core concept of functions. Now, we have seen that, let's say I have to call it 3 times in my code. So I'm just copy pasting. We are calling it multiple time. So it is possible. We don't have to write 3 times this. Currently, there is one line. Let's say there are 50 lines of code. We do not have to write this 50 lines. It is just one line of calling the function will serve that purpose. Okay. Then we have what we can do. We can print a menu also. Let's say I define a function menu, and I want to print pizza, print burger, print coffee. Okay. And we want to call the menu after that. So see, just with one line I have printed, and now let's say a new item in the menu is added. So if I have used this menu at 50 times, no matter, I do not have to make any change because the function is calling whatever written under this. I have to just make change under this one, like let's say samosa is added. Instead of function, if I have manually wrote all this line, I have to make find out each and every line in the code where this menu items are added, and I have to manually add that items. So that is the main advantage of functions. Okay. And now what else we can do? We can have multiple functions also, like let's say we create a welcome message menu. All this we have created, we can define multiple functions in the same time. Okay. And we can create a mini project that will help us to understand the concept in a better way. So what we can do, mini project for this video. And for code cafe, today we are going to create a restaurant cafe management system for them. Okay. So we will try to arrange a few of their things like generating a bill, taking orders, all of that we are trying to arrange in the form of a functions. Okay. So let's first start with a welcome message that we have seen. Every time we used to write a print statement at the beginning, but this time we can have the welcome message. Print welcome to code cafe. Okay. This we have done. Okay. Now define what else we can define. We can have the show menu. Okay. Mm, we can have print slash and today's menu. Okay. And then we can print the items under it. What can be the items? One dot pizza, 250 rupees. We can have print. The second item can be burger, mm, 200 rupees. Okay, then we have coffee, that is 99 rupees. Okay, we are keeping short menu as of now. Okay, now we will be defining another function, take order. Okay, previously we used to write each of the lines as a single flow, but now we are defining the functions that, like, we are segregating the things. So show menu will show the menu whenever we need, we can simply call that function, so we do not have to worry about things. We are right now building the separate blocks, and then at the final stage we will be using the call of these functions to, like, combine or integrate everything into the one functionality. Okay, so now take order, and let's say order is taken as input, enter your order. Simple, and we will strip that. Okay, that is done, and we will return order. We will understand this return functionality also. I will explain you as I told you. Okay, now we have defined generate bill. Okay, we can print slash and bill generated successfully. Okay, so as of now we are not doing anything much in the bill generation. We are just printing a message. Definitely the logic can be added, whatever the price and everything for the items, but to keep a simplicity in the mini project, we are not doing much, just to understand that our function calling and definition is working properly. Then we have a thank you message that we were printing like a welcome message every time, so we'll print a print slash and thank you for the visit. Okay, so I guess we have done this. Now what we will do, we will call one by one. The sequence should be, first we will welcome the client. Then what we will do, we will have the customer order. No, first we need to show them the menu. Then accordingly they will pro menu, actually the pro function name is. Then what will they do? They will provide an order. So we need to take the order. Okay. So take order is the one, and we will storing that value in a variable. I will explain you how this value will come and what return is. I will explain you in a bit. Just for a moment, I am writing the code completely so you can understand the flow. So customer order equal to take order. Okay, that we will take as an input, and then we will print mm, what we can print. So we can print as order is, and we will have customer order. Okay, this we have done. Now we will generate the bill. As of now we are just printing the message, and then we will have a thank you. Okay, now you can see how simple the program has become. We have defined this one once. Now if any change is required, let's say welcome message change is required, anything, we don't have to touch the actual program, we just have to make changes in the functions. Okay, so this will help us to segregate the each of the functionalities and then integrate into the one application. Now talking about the return one. So this return keyword is basically if in the function we are doing any operations or anything. Let me write a simple function of addition. Define add. Okay, and then I am let's say doing a output is equal to, as of now I am doing 5 plus 5. Okay, and whenever don't want to print the value from the function itself, I want to take it and then do some operation on that value. So I will return the output. So what this will do, this will perform an operation in the function and then return the value, and further the user will have that value. Whatever they want to do, they can do it. So let's say if I am calling this add function, and this is giving me a output in a variable named as sum. Okay, or rather than we can say addition. Okay, and then what I do, I will do a print addition plus, further I am adding 10 to that value. So here if I do the print statement, I cannot do this one. So return is simply doing, it will return that output 10 to here in this variable, and then we can do a further operation on that. Similar way here, we are not printing any statement, printing the order, we are returning it, and the customer will be seeing this message with the help of customer order variable, because the value is stored in this one with the help of return. Okay, so it's quite simple. Now today's menu is this one. I want a pizza. I pressed enter. Order is pizza. Bill generated successfully. Thank you. Just a formatting issues. I can see here the bill, and here a slash n. I see that should be there. And now let's say I need a coffee. Okay. So the order is coffee. Bill generated. Thank you for the visit. So you can see it's quite simple. Whatever we are doing, uh, we are calling it everything with a function, and in a procedure way we are executing our code. Here the functions are defined, and then we are executing with the help of calling of that function. Okay. Mm, okay, so just to recap what we have seen how we can define a function, store instruction in it, call the function, and then execute the code. And also we have done a mini project where we kind of designed a small menu system where you can see the menu and order something, and you will get a welcome message and everything. But whatever we have implemented with the help of functions. Okay, so okay, so I hope you understood the basics of the functions. Definitely, there are more concepts inside the function itself that we will be looking going further. The example of addition that I showed you, let's say I do not want to do 5 plus 5 addition every time. I want whomsoever the user is calling the function, the user should enter the value, and that value I accept in the function, and then do the operation based on that value. This will give me the dynamic power to handle the like functionality of the functions. So we will be looking how we can take the functions and in using the arguments and everything, how we can return in a different data format. All that we will be looking in the upcoming videos. So I hope you are liking this series. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you in my next video. Until then, happy coding.